The Premier League this year has by far been one of the most interesting seasons in recent years. I'm not sure what's more interesting, the fact that Tottenham are actually doing well, Chelsea are sitting 10th, or the fact that Aston Villa are currently second in the league. But in this video, we're not going to talk about how interesting the Premier League has been this season. In fact, we're going to talk about who will win the Premier League this season. For this, I'm going to focus on 5 different teams that I think are in the Premier League title battle. Not sure how long this battle will last, but if we talk about teams that could win it, these are the ones that I've picked. So this video is going to split into 5, and each 5 categories will be the teams I'm covering. I'm going to talk about where I think they're going to finish in the season and why I think they're in the Premier League title race. So I'm going to cover every team from 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st. So we'll instantly begin at the 5th team. This one is such a weird one to cover because, I mean, Aston Villa being second in the minute is crazy in itself, and I don't think anyone could have predicted that coming. But I can't deny that they could potentially be in a Premier League title race when they have beaten teams like Arsenal, Man City, Tottenham and Chelsea. They have been incredible, especially their home form. I think they might have just lost 1 or 2 games at home. Their home run is insane. And since Unai Emery has come in, he's completely changed the squad and the way they play. Douglas Luiz pretty much shines almost every single week. John McGinn has turned into like prime Iniesta. And Mike Ash has turned into, well, he's turned into some sort of rugby player now. But the most surprising for me is that I actually thought Villa would crumble this season. I don't mean crumble as in relegation battle, but I think they would drop down from, like they finished 7th last season. I thought they'd drop down to maybe 12th or 13th. And the reason I thought that isn't because of their squad or their ability. The reason I thought that was because having European schedule along with the schedule that they already have could have made them crumble. We're sort of seeing it with Newcastle now because of the European games and the other games that they've had to partake in, and the schedules are so tight. We've seen a lot of injuries come out of Newcastle, and if we're looking at Newcastle's recent form, it's not very good. But they surprised us all, and they are currently sitting second whilst also having European football, which is like the first time in many, many years. So it may sound silly that we talk about Aston Villa and a Premier League title run, but if we talk about start of the season, if I told you by 2024 Aston Villa are sitting second, you would not believe me. So this is why I've included them in the Premier League title race. I'd be shocked if they fall out of the race, to be honest. But also, that being said, I can't see them being top 4 as well, which sounds silly because I've just hyped them up so much. But the other teams that we're going to cover, I just see them placing ahead of them. But that is no discredit to Aston Villa. In fact, I'm going to show you this clip from Sir Alex Ferguson when Aston Villa played Newcastle at the start of the season and Newcastle pumped them 5-1. This is what Sir Alex Ferguson had to say about Villa.
I watched Aston Villa and Newcastle, and I can't believe the scoreline. Honestly, Aston Villa played fantastic football and just lost bad goals. Yeah. Newcastle are going to be very difficult beating their own ground, particularly, and the manager's done a great job there. But it's a surprising game, football. I mean, you can put teams off the pitch who don't score, and that's what happened to Aston Villa.
Okay, I'll be honest, I feel like this one will be completely wrong. I just have a feeling that I'm going to be completely wrong about this one, and I'm going to regret some of the things I say in this. But I'm going to say it because it's how I feel. I made a video before the season started called Are Tottenham in Trouble? And if you do want to watch that, you can click the link in the description. And the majority of things I said in that video surprisingly were correct. Tottenham needed a project manager. They needed someone to come in whose likelihood is that they'll stay for many years and they would change the way the club is looked at and the way the club developed. And that's exactly what's happened. Ange Postecoglou has come in and in such a short period of time, he's not only changed the philosophy of the tactics and the way they play, but I'd argue he's also changed the philosophy of the club. When we look at Tottenham now, it's not the same Tottenham we've seen for previous years. And in fact, it feels like Tottenham are in this sort of new era now with Ange. And there's no denying Ange has done a phenomenal job with Tottenham. And the way they've been playing this season has been fantastic. I think some of the football they've played has been one of the most entertaining things I've seen this season. And one thing I could probably guarantee is that Ange Postecoglou will probably win a trophy with Tottenham. I'd be surprised if that doesn't happen. But my biggest issue with Tottenham and the reason why I'm placing them 4th is because Ange has had such a short period of time. This is still a development season for him and his squad. Ange doesn't have the squad depth that matches his tactics. Of course, he has the players that can come in, but these are the kind of players that he doesn't want in this squad. He needs time to develop the squad. He needs time to bring in the players that he wants. And when he does, he's going to absolutely thrive in this league. I mean, look what his coaching staff have already done to the academy. Like, their academy have been fantastic this year, especially their under-21s. So with time and patience, I genuinely think Ange will do wonders with Tottenham. But this season, I can't see them achieving a trophy this year, and I do not see them winning the Premier League, but I do think they'll be in the battle. And I think if Tottenham do end up finishing in the top 4, even 4th, that is such a victory for Tottenham. Because going into the new season and the transfer window that Ange will have in the summer, going from a Champions League spot, he's going to bring in so many players, so many attraction to the club because they're playing in the Champions League. It's an incredible foundation to work from, and if Ange invests well and properly, which to be fair he has done already, but I think the issue is squad depth for the minute. I think that's why they won't achieve the Premier League this year. And I think as well with AFCON and Asian Cup, they've got players like Heung-min Son, Bissouma, Saab, they're having to leave for majority of January. So it is going to be, I think these next few months are going to be a bit of a tricky one for Tottenham. But if Tottenham is to finish 4th, this will be the start of a very successful reign for Ange Postecoglou. And I'll be surprised in 3 years' time if he's still not at the club. All of that could actually be waffle. I could look at this in 6 months' time and Ange's probably fucking fired and Son's been sold and he's gone to disaster. Knowing my luck anyway. One of the best things for Arsenal in my mind is that their foundations are superb on a business level, on a marketing level, and on a squad level. The way that club is run and the development that Arteta has brought to the club for the past couple of years has been fantastic, and it's no surprise to see them in such good form currently as they were last season. But the reason why I have to place them 3rd is down to 2 reasons. First one being their recent performances. Don't get me wrong, I don't think they're having a bad season at all. I think they're having a fantastic season, but I think their recent performances has brought to that their struggles that they have in their squad. Teams are now starting to see the cracks that are in Arsenal's squad, and teams are taking advantage of it. And the issue is that when it comes to this January window, I don't think they'll be able to invest much because of their transfer net spend being minus £160 million. I'd be surprised if they bring anyone in January at a significant figure. But good thing is that Timber does come back, and Timber, when he did, start them couple of games for Arsenal, he looked absolutely quality. But I don't think Timber will be enough to get Arsenal the Premier League title, especially when you compare him to these next 2 teams that we're going to go into. I just think 3rd is the place that Arsenal will finish. The pick between 1st and 2nd was incredibly difficult. And to be honest, I won't be surprised if Man City do end up winning the league. However, I am going to put Man City 2nd because I'm sick of saying Man City will win the league and they always win the league and I'm getting tired of it. It's boring me. I'm not saying it anymore. But also, they just don't seem like the Man City we've seen for the past few seasons. The injuries that they've had this season, as well as some of the disciplined actions of players, it's not benefited the club whatsoever. And it especially doesn't help that Jeremy Doku and Erling Haaland is injured currently as well. But they just don't seem that dominant team, especially the team that we saw from last year. They've already dropped points to teams that realistically a team like City shouldn't be dropping points to. We've seen City drop points to Crystal Palace, we've seen them drop points to Wolves, we've seen them drop points to Newcastle, we've even seen them drop points at Arsenal, which, I think this is the first time Arsenal have actually managed to get a point out of City in many, many years. And the reason I put them 2nd is because the team that I've put 1st has just been so dominant, and for the remaining of the season, I can see City dropping points in silly games. I see it happening still. I could be completely wrong, and this could be the turnaround where Pep and Man City just absolutely dominate for the rest of the season, they win it, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. That being said, I actually won't be surprised if they win the league, but who knows? Who knows? I am confident, and I hate to say it, that Liverpool will win the Premier League this season. The only game that they have lost this season is a 2-1 defeat against Tottenham, and that we already know was such a controversial game. PGMOL literally had to apologise for some of the refereeing decisions for that game. Technically, it's not even a realistic loss, as silly as that sounds. And when they play games where they've been absolutely dominant, or whether they've struggled in performing, they get the result regardless. I managed to draw with teams such as Arsenal and Man City, who they're fighting the league with, is a big win for Liverpool. I think Liverpool have such a good foundation, they have such a good squad, and they show no signs of slowing down. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'd be surprised if Liverpool don't go on to win it now. They've been so dominant, they've got the results that they've wanted, and if we look at Liverpool compared to last season, they've really sharpened up. I can't see them dropping points like I could see Man City dropping points, and that's the distinction for me of why I'm putting Liverpool first. But of course, this is my opinion, and I'm most likely completely wrong. We're probably going to see Brighton win the league, knowing my luck. But who knows? If I am right, I'll cherish this video for the rest of my life. But that's my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate all feedback for this video, and I like to know other people's opinions. You know, let's have a conversation. But that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my content, make sure to hit the subscription button. And if you want to be notified when we upload, make sure to hit that bell. Thank you all for watching. See you soon.